WCCF Punta Gorda.
News Radio 1580.
Charlotte County's only news talk radio station, serving you around the clock.
Hi, I'm Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Golden Diamonds. I can tell you that Westchester Golden Diamonds has the largest collection of golden diamonds in 3 counties. But I think the fact that we've been here for over 35 years says it all. Westchester Golden Diamonds has worked hard to give you the best prices, the deepest discounts off our everyday low prices, and above all, the best service possible. At Westchester Golden Diamonds, we always appreciate your business, and we've worked hard to keep it. Westchester Golden Diamonds in Bears Plaza, Port Charlotte. Westchester Golden Diamonds, a name you can trust. Good morning, America. You're listening to WCCF 1580 AM on your radio dial, and this is Tradio. I'm your host, Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Golden Diamonds. I'm here today with my co-host, Ken Lovejoy. Now, wait. Get excited because let's clap, put those hands together because he's not quite sure what personality he's going to be. He's standing here with his mouth open at the mic, trying to decide. He was going to go one way. Now he's teetering. And,
Auf Wiedersehen, baby.
Okay. And
oh, wait. Guten Tag.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're Captain Wilhelm. Okay. Well, anyway, that was sort of a disappointment.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
anyway, this is Tradio.
It's a grab bag.
And if you've never heard us before, button your seatbelt or tighten your belts, and here we go. What you're going to do is we're going to give you the opportunity to be on radio. That's right. This is going to be like American Idol here in Port Charlotte. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But you're not going to have to perform for us.
No.
You're merely going to have to call us at 206-1580. Or, wait a minute.
Yeah, you never give that one out.
Well, you know what?
know. You got to
It's
look.
because
Right?
it's on the back of my underwear, and I hate having to turn this thing around.
Just in case you get
Hold
hit.
on. It's Haynes. No, wait. It's 888-441-1580.
Correct. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Putting these things back where they belong. Ooh, gave myself a wedgie.
You look like you enjoyed it.
All right. And the reason you're calling us is because you've got items that are lying around the house. You want to get rid of them. You don't have to throw them out. Well, you might. But, you know, if it's that pizza from 3 weeks ago that's been sitting out, throw that one away.
Please.
But if it's an item that you would like to sell, you call us at 206-1580. If you're way out of the area, you can call us at 888-441-1580.
Because we got that guy from Nokomis that always calls in.
Yeah. And you tell us what the item is you have, the size, the condition, how old, how much you'd like for that particular item. We're going to put you in the largest warehouse in Southwest Florida, the Airwaves. And we'll file it away in case somebody is looking for that item. They can either call you right then and there on the spot while the show's going on, or they can call the station. We write all this stuff down, and you can ask for Ken. He'll get you that phone number of the particular item. And that's Tradio. That's the way we roll here at Tradio. But if you're looking for something, haven't been able to find it, give us a call, 206-1580. Tell us what you're looking for. And maybe somebody out there has got that item. They never even thought about selling it. You know, it's just been sitting around. It's out in the garage. And you're going, wow, somebody wants my piece of junk? I mean, somebody wants my stuff? Okay, I'll call them. And again, that's what we're here for. Now, about 9:30, we kind of talk about all kinds of antiques, collectibles, what's hot, what's not in jewelry fashions. You know, if you've got questions on collectibles or items like that, you can call us while we're on the air, 206-1580. I'll field those questions for you. You can put me in a hot seat. I will try and come up with the answers and knowledge that you need for your particular item. Or you can email me, as quite a few people have been doing. Been keeping me kind of busy. I've actually been on the computer. And it is wgdiamonds@hotmail.com. And if I've got some answers for you, I'll get back to you. I'm not the most punctual person in the world, but I will get back with you and give you what information I can on that particular item, or if it's something you wanted to sell, and you want to email pictures of that, I'm more than happy to get back to you on items like that. And you'll hear Ken and I say, I think it's this, I think it's that. We wager a quarter. That's right. We're gambling men.
Yep.
On what each caller is going to have. And so far, I've almost saved up for a case of beer.
G money.
And this man has traveled. He has traveled all the way to Fort Myers.
Actually, I lied about Fort Myers. It was actually the working cow in Punta Gorda. That's as far as I go.
Okay, well, so he really hasn't done that well.
All right.
But without further ado, I'm going with a boat.
This is, I'm thinking yard sale or something like that. They've been on hold a while.
Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Multiple items.
There you go.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gentlemen. I'm glad to hear you're about and doing well.
Well, thank you.
I want to know, I have a very old Underwood typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it has any great value because I bought it back in 1947. And it was old then. You know, it's a manual typewriter.
Okay.
And I wonder if a museum of that type would want something like that.
Well, that's not really a super old typewriter. There are a couple typewriters out there that have some value to them, mainly the ones that are unusual. Now, you've just got a regular manual typewriter, but some of the earlier typewriters had a cylinder that the paper actually stood up rather than laid down, and the keys would come up and strike the paper that way.
You think you have to look at it to see?
Yeah, there's actually there's probably a model number on there, and if you want, you can call me over at the store and give me that model number. I can look that up for you in some of my reference. I'm not thinking it's going to be a real valuable type of thing, but there are people out there that, believe it or not, who collect typewriters.
Mm-hmm.
And
the only place I ever saw something like that was in a very old museum, and they showed something that depicted the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, if you bought it in the 40s, it could be earlier than that. So, you know, you might have something that's of value. And like I said, if you want to give me a call at the shop, I'll be more than happy to look that up for you.
Very good. I appreciate that.
All righty.
Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye.
Yeah, you never know. Some of that stuff is, comes back. And in 1947, this might be the time when the, English majors start wanting manual typewriters so they can pound it out.
Yeah. Well, the reporters, they were on the trains and stuff. They used all that stuff. And, and I used to poo-hoo the typewriters, but there are a couple models out there that, I sort of bumped into a garage sales and said, wow, that's kind of cool. And did some quick research and said, this particular model was a $100, $200 typewriter. And for the old manuals that are normally $5 and $10,
it was a lot of money.
Anchors, boat anchor type things. It was good. So sometimes there's some sleepers out there.
Cool.
People say, well, why would I save typewriters? I've got a friend who saves safes.
Because you got warehouses.
Actual safes. And you walk in his house and he's got like 15 huge monster, all different types of safes, and they're really cool. But, you need a lot of room. Typewriters don't need quite as much room.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
All right. I'm going with I got to go with a vehicle.
Boat or car?
No, I'm not. No.
Land vehicle or water vehicle?
A land vehicle.
Land vehicle.
Yeah. Well, now you're going to go
land vehicle.
Now you're going to go with a water vehicle?
Yeah, I'm thinking some kind of boat.
Okay. Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Yeah, good morning, guys. First of all, as always, great show.
Thank you.
Anyhow, you guys were close. I've got two items here. First one is I have 2 large cages with 5 beautiful chinchillas. I've got 2 males and 3 females. They're young breeders. And we just traveled too much. First $100 for all of it. Just one of the males is worth over that. And then the other item we have is my wife has a 250 to 300 pet sow, a white and black sow. She's 25% pot-bellied, and she wants to get a good home for it. So if anybody's interested, give us a call at 626-8274.
I thought you were going to say, and the second item was a chinchilla jacket.
You've got breeding chinchillas with cage.
Yeah, we have 5 chinchillas with 2 large cages.
And you're looking for a good home for a pig.
For Roxy, my wife's pet pig.
Oh, it's a house pig.
Right. Well, no. She's got her own nice big pen in the back.
How big is Roxy?
I'd say between 250 and 300.
That's a rather large house pig.
Yeah.
Okay.
She well, like anything else, that's all she does is eat and sit around and look smart.
I try that. I just can't look smart.
Right.
Okay. Chinchillas in a cage for $100.
Yeah, 5 chinchillas, 2 large cages, first $100.
And you're looking for a good home for the sow.
Right.
And how old is she?
She's about 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd make a great breeder. Very nice-looking pig.
Okay.
626-8274.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Keep up the good work.
All right. Bye now. All right, well, I will say...
That's a first.
Not the pig. We've had pigs before.
Oh, really? You've had pigs?
But
the
that's
chinchillas.
the first on chinchillas.
I would have to agree.
You know, I have a quickie. He said chinchillas. I remember back in the 60s when I was growing up, and my dad, chinchillas sort of got introduced into the market as, breeders for coats and things like that. And my dad comes home and he says, "We're going to buy these chinchillas. We're going to start raising them. They're worth all kinds of money.
It's a gold mine, I tell you. It's a gold mine."
And I just had a flashback to when I was a kid. I'm thinking, chinchillas, yeah, I remember raising chinchillas. And then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But they're neater than guinea pigs. I got to tell you, they're kind of cool. And,
all right.
And you can pet on them all the time. And
I'll bet you
feel great. Oh, okay. I forgot what it was. Where am I? What am I doing?
I'm going to the yard sale.
I'm going with furniture.
All right.
Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Not too much. Would you believe we're emptying the yacht?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a lot of stuff to empty out of there.
Yeah, that there is. Well, as you probably guessed, we're selling the entire contents of our yacht.
Okay.
We've got a 22.5 cubic foot stainless steel refrigerator in like new condition. Tons of boat supplies and parts. Cleaning products for stainless knives and glass. Some beautiful wicker furniture. Contents of the full galley, pots, pans, you name it, we've got it. Dock lines, hoses, boarding ladders, anchors, life jackets. It's all for sale. Anyway, we're pretty much going to be available from 9 to 11 for the next several Fridays, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again. The number is 916-2561, and we're at Rio Plato Drive over in Punta Gorda.
Well, put away an anchor for me because Janie lost the anchor off of her boat.
Again?
No, we never got another one yet.
Oh, okay.
So, and I didn't know you've got an anchor that'll work on that deck boat.
Oh, it'll work.
Well, I was kind of hoping you had a smaller one than that one. But
No, I don't think so. Sorry about that one.
Well,
right.
I've been on his boat and I've seen the supplies and everything in there. And if anybody's looking to furnish a live-in, nice-sized boat, they've got some fantastic stuff in, and I'm sure it'll be priced right. So if you're looking to save yourself a bunch of money and see some great items, give that gentleman a call.
All right.
And
Thanks,
I use the word gentleman loosely.
Oh, come on.
Thank you, Mikey.
You guys take care. We'll see you.
Bye, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right,
Well,
what's
you
this
went with a...
I'll give you a half.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a boat, but it was
a
nautical
It was a leaner.
items.
It was a leaner. All right, I'm going with electronics.
Electronics, this is furniture.
Good morning. You're on Tradio. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on Tradio.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, I have a wall mirror, 3x5 in excellent shape. I just want to give it away if anybody's interested.
Okay, what color is it?
It's just a regular mirror, wall mirror.
It's a mirror.
Wall mirror. Oh,
it's mirror color.
Okay.
Yeah, the kind you look in, and it looks back at you.
Yeah, I thought you said bureau for some reason.
It's whatever color you put in front of it.
It's in real good shape. It's got no blemishes or anything on it. I just want, just get rid of it.
It's just a rectangular mirror?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3x5.
All righty.
And it's got the brackets, and my number is 626-1279.
All righty. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
That's the problem with mirrors. People don't really... they don't
furniture.
go out of their way to buy mirrors. No, that's furniture. I give that one to you.
All right.
But, it's not like they really go... I mean,
Yeah,
I've bought some
all the
really
mirrors-
cool mirrors over the years, and if it's got a nice gilt frame or something like that, But
all mirrors I've ever had, I've like fallen into. I've never bought a mirror.
if you fall into a mirror, that's
well,
bad luck.
you know what I mean? They've just like already been there.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
For the price that he's giving it away,
Yeah,
literally,
like you might as well.
I think
What the
somebody's
heck?
going to want a mirror.
Yeah.
Well, you hit that one. Go ahead. I'll let you, because you could be on a roll.
Okay. Appliance.
An appliance. I'm going with exercise equipment.
Echo. Oh,
Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us?
I have a small lazy boy lounge chair, a turquoise, good shape. I just don't have any room for it anymore. It's electric.
Okay.
I'm asking $150 at the best offer.
Now, when you say it's electric, you plug that thing in and...
Yes, and it lays back, it lounges, it goes up, and it works. It's in excellent shape. I just don't have the room for it.
and it's what color?
It's a turquoise lazy boy lounge chair.
Okay.
Okay?
We need
$150.
Give me a phone number.
941-743-8907.
All right. Thanks for
Okay,
calling.
thank you so much.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I didn't know lazy boys were electric.
Oh man, they got them that are they vibrate,
Well,
they
yeah, well,
recline, they lift you up.
Well, I know.
They're,
I'm in
they're
on
also
that deal.
a jazzy. They got a little 4-horse underneath it, takes you down to the quick sack. Yeah,
What are you
they
talking
got all
about?
that stuff.
Lazy boy doesn't make jazzy. That's two different things. Two
But
different
they
animals.
should. They should.
I had a
Right.
jazzy. I've got a bunch of electric chairs. If anybody's looking for the power wheelchair type of thing,
Yeah.
I've got them. They retail for $6,000 and $10,000. I've got 2 of them for sale at the shop. Actually, I got 3 of them. I've got them at the shop for anywhere from $300 to $550. So if anybody's looking for something like that, they need it. They've had a medical emergency. Somebody's broken a leg and they're going to be in that for a while, and you're looking for something. Stop down and see us at Westchester Golden Diamonds. We've got them right on the floor. You can stick that person in there and pedal them home, or they can wheel home. I don't want to sell all of them, though, because I like that one. Thinking I'm going to need it sooner or later. So. It's already got a cup holder on it,
There
too.
you go.
We got callers, 206-1580. People tell me I forget to give them the number when we're on the air. And this is a boat. I'm up for the boat.
I'm on
You're on a
furniture.
Okay. Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us?
Hello?
Hi,
Hello.
ma'am. You're on the air.
Okay. I have stained glass equipment I need to sell.
Okay.
I have solder. I have tools. I have 2 boxes of glass. I have a small glass star grinder. And I'd like to sell everything for $400.
Wow, that's cheap for all that stuff.
It sure is. But I can't use it anymore, and I'd like to see somebody have good use with it.
Will you
Yeah, we got a lot
give
of
him
artists
will
in
you
the
give
area.
him
They
some
might-
pointers and tips on how to work with that stuff?
Pardon me?
Would you help him and teach him a little bit about how to use all that?
I can.
Okay.
If anybody is taking a stained glass course,
Uh-huh.
this is perfect. This is perfect for them. They don't have to buy a whole lot of equipment.
Okay, yeah,
I
that
know.
sounds great.
When I started doing stained glass about 30 years ago, it cost an arm and a leg just for everything.
Oh, yeah, I know. That stuff's expensive. I looked at that before. Give us a phone number.
575-1310, area code 941.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Yeah, you got a lot of artists live in the area now.
If things get slow here, you might want to buy that. And,
Yeah.
because
Would they let me take that to prison?
sure,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
you'd be
Might call.
big in like Flint.
We'll steal the $400, buy it from her, and then when I get caught and I'm in prison, I'll make stained glass windows.
Well, sounds like you've got your
I think ahead.
life planned, young man. And who said you wouldn't amount to anything? What was that teacher's name?
What do you got?
206-1580, and this is a vehicle.
This is an appliance.
Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us?
I have a 1999 Ford Taurus.
Okay. What color?
It's a station wagon, sir.
Okay. And what color is it?
Gray.
And how many miles?
150,000 miles.
Good tires and everything?
Yes, sir.
And how much would you like to sell that for?
I'm asking $1,200.
Okay. And does it have air conditioning and everything else?
Yes, sir.
So this is a jump in the vehicle and go.
Yes, sir.
All right, give us a phone number.
941-875-7096.
7096. All right, we got you, and thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Well, I'd say that was a quarter in my column.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Okay, now the little pressure on me because I've got one in a row. That's lately that's been very good for me. I'm going with furniture.
This is I'm sticking with an appliance.
Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Good morning. I have a Magnavox television.
Okay.
It's has a remote control, works fine. $20.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, give us a phone number.
206-1580. I'm sorry. 625-7052.
Do that one more time.
625-7052.
7052.
All righty.
Thank you much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye now. Well, see, he listened. The number was 206-1580.
Yeah.
I'm going, I know that number. Wait a minute. How do I know that number? So that was a little something that you could sit on. So I guess that was furniture.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, it was a Magnavox.
A Magnavox.
That's an appliance.
Seat TV.
That's an
It's
appliance.
called a seat television.
Dude, that's an appliance, isn't it?
Not if you put it on the floor.
It would be considered electronic.
You could
so
sit
we
on it.
both lose.
Okay. I was going to give that to you. You're pretty easy to manipulate on that one. This is. I'm thinking this is lawn equipment.
Oh, wow. That's what
it
I
was
was
on the tip of your tongue. You should have never opened your mouth. All right. So what are you going to go with now?
Appliance.
Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Lawn related.
Lawn related. Okay. So you've got a cedar or something like that?
I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. Someone to cut your grass.
I'm looking for patio stepping stones.
Oh. Wow. You didn't do any. You didn't get any calls on that?
No.
All right. Tell everybody what you're looking for again.
Okay. Patio stepping stones. I'd like to make a little patio area. And there can be square or rectangle, but no round ones.
Okay.
And we will come get them. We'll pick them up. If you have an existing patio, don't worry about all that back-breaking labor to get rid of it. We'll do it.
Oh, that's
and
good.
Like them for a reasonable price. My number is 639-5938. And if I'm not home, just leave me a message.
All righty.
Now, how quick can you come and get those things?
About the weekend.
All right, because my neighbor's out of town, and he's got a bunch of them over there. I bet he'd be really surprised to find out his patio was gone when he got back in
leave
town.
a check taped to his front
door.
What, am I supposed to be joining Ken in jail now?
Well, perhaps you can learn how to do stained glass, too.
There you go.
All righty, well, thanks.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
dear. Bye now. I wonder how many people sell their neighbor's stuff. You know, I've got some patio. I got patio furniture and things like that.
I
you know,
have heard stories. Yeah.
You go over there and it's like, yeah, can you? They're looking over their shoulder. Can you hurry?
We come back from the Poconos.
Yeah, can
and our
you kind of
pool's
put this
gone.
stuff? Can you kind of put that stuff in your car and leave right now? Yeah, I'll just take anything. Sure. Okay. 206-1580 if you'd like to give us a buzz on Tradio and keep us from rambling. Actually, keep me from rambling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I must be jazzed up on this coffee.
It is good coffee.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't normally drink coffee.
That's the.
Now I know why.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going back to electronics.
Lawn equipment.
Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I have some patio furniture. I have a lanai table. It's about 3 feet by 5 feet,
Okay.
good condition. And I have 6 chairs that go with it. 4 regular chairs and 2 chairs that swivel and rock.
Okay. What color?
It's like a beige,
Okay.
and it's a glass top, kind of like a plastic glass kind of thing.
And what are the chairs? They have cushions in them, or they just have that strapping?
Just have the strapping.
Okay.
And they have arms on them. And I would like $150 for it.
For everything?
Yes.
Well, that's a pretty good deal.
And the number?
It's just too big for my lanai.
Okay.
941-626-1804.
All right, we got you. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
See, now there I go. It's too big for her lanai, but it's sitting on her neighbor's lanai. So their neighbor's going to be pretty surprised when they come home.
Indeed.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Probably not.
This is going to be. I'm trying to get the vibes here. I'm going with the furniture one more time.
Electronics.
Oh, okay. And Karnak says, "Good morning. You're on Tradio. Hello.
Good morning. I just missed the number for the gentleman that was selling the boat items.
Oh, okay.
916-2561.
916-2561.
Everything you want for your yacht,
he's got a pile of stuff, and he's got some really, really nice stuff, too.
Great. I'll give him a call. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.
All right. It's 9:30. Our callers have realized it's 9:30. They won't be able to get through because I'm going to
ramble
a little bit. And if I said the word to you, deltiologist, now do you think that would be someone who studies muscles in the shoulder? Do you think it would be someone who studied aeronautical engineering?
Actually,
or do you think it would be someone who collected postcards?
I would have to go with the postcards.
You'd have to go with that because it was so weird. But
yeah.
Okay, and if I rolled out the postcards, since there really is no name like that, but what would you go with?
Were any of those right?
I'm not telling you.
Repeat them again.
Forget it. I just made them up as I was going.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we're talking about deltiologists today. And deltiologist is actually the name for a person who saves postcards.
It is postcards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when I hit you with the postcard, you're definitely going to go with the one that was really bizarre. So, stamp collectors are called philatelists.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Coin collectors are called numismatists.
Really?
And postcard collectors are called deltiologists. Now, people are going to say, why would you collect postcards?
A lot of cool ones out
there. We're talking about basically people still collect picture postcards today. You come to Florida, you travel around, you get those postcards, you send them back home to people. Here I am. You put the little arrow. This is me in a big crowd, about 2,000 people. Well, anyway, postcards became popular about the turn of the century. The post office came out with 1-cent postcards that you could mail. They weren't picture postcards. Some people collect them. Again, we talked about stamp collecting a couple weeks ago. And they collected them for the postmarks, where they came from and things like that. But over the years, picture postcards started all the way back in the around 1870s, or late 1860s, 1870s. And just a novel idea. They came out with, all kinds of different cards. And when I talk about cards, it's amazing all the different topics that you find on these antique picture postcards. And again, the reason I thought about it is because someone last week came in with some picture postcards, and I've got, how strange, I've got collections of different types of picture postcards that I've collected over the years. And, people will come in and they'll ask from time to time, do you have picture postcards? And I'll go, yeah, I got them. And I'll bring out a box with like 1,000 of them. And they kind of go, whoa, my God. And they start digging through, and usually they can find something. Some of the more advanced collectors have a hard time finding that stuff because it's been picked over. But, there's some of the cards that are out there. The first thing that comes to mind, which is a real big collectible, holiday cards. Now, when I say holiday cards, they made postcards for Christmas. They made them for Halloween. They made them for St. Patrick's Day. They made them for Thanksgiving. They made them for Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday. I mean, if there's a holiday out there, they made postcards for it. And it's pretty cool. I mean, the Halloween postcards, of course, there's always a jack-o'-lantern on it, and a black cat, and a witch. And they say, well, why would people even think about collecting stuff like that? I had a dealer friend of mine who lived up in Sarasota. She happened to be born on Halloween. Now, as an antique dealer, she ran into postcards and things like this, and all of a sudden she just got a bug up her butt to say, okay, I'm going to start collecting Halloween postcards because that's my birthday. And she began collecting them. Christmas postcards, very, very big collectible. And generally they're collected with pictures of Santa Claus on them. And there's plenty of them. There's Santa going down the chimney and on a sleigh and with his reindeer. And not only are we talking about postcards that were made in the U.S., but picture postcards were made throughout the entire world. I mean, and I'm talking the entire world. And it's always amazing to see how St. Christopher or St. Nick or Santa Claus is dressed. And the value of some of these cards depends on what Santa Claus is actually wearing. If he happens to have a blue suit on, which is European, that's a more collectible card because it's unusual to find him in blue. I've got cards where Santa's dressed in buckskins. Of course, he's always dressed in his red suit. So, I mean, the more variations, the more unusual the card is with that particular topic, the more valuable it is, the more desirable it is. And, Washington's birthday, well, of course, you find a lot of the ones that were just pictures of Washington. There's pictures of Washington, by his home in Mount Vernon as a president, crossing the Delaware in a boat. I mean, so, all the stories that you would hear about different folk heroes and things that were related to different holidays are pictured on postcards. And this is no different than we talk about how manufacturers realized people are starting to collect a particular item. We talk about baseball cards. Back in the 80s, all of a sudden, the companies realized, man, not only can we sell this gum with the postcards, but people are just saving these cards. Let's crank them out. And that's what these postcard companies did. I mean, we didn't have electronics. We didn't have cameras. So, how do you communicate? You would send a postcard. You went to Europe, send back, a postcard from Europe. Get on the boat, and it would come back over here. They didn't have the planes when these things were first started. So, it was a way to communicate across continents. But again, they would make different topics that appealed to different people. So you had your holiday cards. There's birthday cards. I mean, and it's actually, they would make these cards, and it would show a little stork with a bundle of joy and, flying over. Heard you had a new kid, and on and on and on. And it would have the date and everything impressed into the card. And, there's people who collect birthday cards. There's anniversary cards, Hallmark wasn't around yet. So, you wanted to communicate something mushy, you would send an anniversary card, and it would be a postcard. It wouldn't be just a normal greeting card type of thing. Special events, all kinds of expositions and fairs and things. They always had pictures of all the elaborate buildings that were set up at different sites when they would have an exposition, the Columbian Exposition or the Cotton Exposition of 1867, 1904 World's Fair Pan Am Exposition. And they would show pictures of the different exposition buildings. And lots of times the post office would issue a stamp in conjunction with these expositions. And if you went to the post office at the exposition, you could buy that stamp, a picture of the building that might be pictured on the stamp, and a special exposition cancellation. And the three of those things tied together, now you're talking about the people who collected the postcards, you're talking about the stamp collectors, and you're talking about the people who saved cancellations. So when you had all three of those things together, you might have a $5 postcard, you might have a $2 stamp, and you might have a $3 exposition cancellation. When you put the three of them together, it could be a $50 to $100 postcard. So, it became very popular. believe it or not, here's how macabre we are. There's disaster postcards.
Oh God, really?
From the great earthquake and the great San Francisco fire, earthquakes and things like that.
Having a blast.
Having a blast. Wish you were here. And a lot of the floods that happened in the 1920s and things like that, they would actually take. Those were sort of the later ones, and so we have a lot of those disaster postcards are actually sort of another type of postcard. Not only were they disaster, but they were photographic postcards. Now, there was two different types of photographic postcards. There were actually the ones where they would take a photograph, they would transfer it over to a plate, and then they would manufacture these disaster postcards. So the disaster postcards are quite collectible, and it wouldn't be just one picture. They would show a lot of different ones, and it's amazing that, I've got some earthquake and San Francisco fire postcards and things like this. A lot of times you'll see the same shot from different angles, depending on what company produced that particular postcard. But the disaster cards are quite collectible. I mentioned photographic postcards. A lot of these are actually companies that would take photographs, and the photograph would be transferred over to a postcard back. The piece of paper would be they would adhere it to a piece of backing that said postcard, and it had a place for the address and everything like that on it. Well, there's people that collect postcards with pictures, picture postcards, but actual photographic postcards. Now, people say, well, how can you tell the difference between a real photographic postcard and one of these ones you just talked about, just a transfer? Again, here's where, if you're a collector, I told you go out there and get yourself a loop. And a loop is a magnifying device. And if you look at the front of the postcard, you'll find lots of little dots that make up the coloration in that picture. If you look at a genuine photographic postcard, it'll be some sort of glossy postcard, and there won't be any dots because it's a photographic process as opposed to a printing process. So sometimes they'll be in black and white, sometimes they'll be in a sepia color, which is sort of a brownish color. Now, we just kind of flow right over from the photographic postcards to wartime postcards. And lots of times, the wartime postcards were actually genuine photographic postcards. Lots of times, some of the really macabre and unusual and kind of stuff that sort of turns your stomach postcards were pictures originally. They were transferred over onto a printing press, a printing plate, and they were reproduced as postcards. Some of the wartime postcards show the troops, in action. They're behind a machine gun firing at the lines. Some of them show the troops training at training camp. Some of the more bizarre, more macabre postcards show bodies lying around in trenches. We find a lot of the World War I postcards, 1918 World War I's, with all kinds of people in trenches. We find them with planes that have been shot down and crashed. We find medical postcards where here's pictures of being operated in operating rooms under really severe conditions. I mean, some of these pictures are pretty brutal. I mean, they're very graphic. And there are people who collect these, and believe it or not, they bring pretty good money. I've had photo viewers where one of the French photo viewers I bought had hundreds of these slides, and they were actually photographs. And when you held it up to the stereo viewer, you would see, and these slides were actually made out of glass. And a lot of these later on, it was funny because I found postcards later on that were actually copies of the photographs that I had from the glass plates. So a lot of these really graphic pictures, lots of times these photographers would work for one company and they would turn around and sell their negatives to a postcard company who would print these, and they would in turn print, multiple copies of these wartime postcards. We have what we call hold to the light postcards. These are kind of cool. And what they would do is they would take tissue paper They would take a postcard. Sometimes it would be a exposition card. Sometimes it would just be a building, and the windows would be cut out in the building. They would take they would take that card, attach a piece of tissue paper, and then put the back side of it on, attach the three pieces together, and when you would hold that postcard up to the light, the windows would light up. This is what we call a hold the light postcard, and it's pretty cool. You know, it was, depending on what it was, some of them were kind of risque, and some of them were just, like I say, expositions or just normal buildings and things like that. You know, we find a lot of just picture postcards that show different towns and buildings and things in different towns. And that's one of probably the biggest collectibles. You know, people were born in some obscure town, and they make it a point to find all the postcards they can that were mailed or have pictures of that particular town. There's people who save transportation postcards, the old-time cars, fire trucks. Later on, after 1918, we find postcards picturing planes and dirigibles. I mean, you name it, you have a topic that you like, somewhere out there, there's a postcard that's been done on it. I've talked about Art Nouveau period of time in the 1890s, about 1910, where we found, women with long flowing hair and nature evolving into the hair and things like that. And there's lots of Art Nouveau postcards out there, which are really, really cool. I collect a lot of stuff myself. There's novelty postcards that are made out of silk or leather, wood, aluminum. Lots of times you'll run across the different outfits of foreign countries. Brazil did a lot of them. China did a lot of them. And the actual dresses were needlepoint, and that was done on the postcard. Or the dresses were made out of silk, and then it was just glued to the postcard to do that. Now, what are some of the things that affect postcards as far as their value goes? Number one, a lot of times the artist who produced that postcard, who did the artwork on it, makes a huge difference as far as what the value of a postcard goes. Some of the companies, Raphael Tuck and Sons, was a company that did a tremendous amount of postcards. I mean, you name it, they did it. It was a big company. They did animals. They did beautiful women. They did chickens and things like that. It was just, I'm telling you, it's crazy all the stuff that Raphael Tuck did. I mean, some guy probably just sat there all day long, and I don't know what he was smoking, but they said, here's your job. Think of topics to make postcards with, and they did. I mean, they had thousands of topics. But Raphael Tuck or Tuck and Sons, you'll find that in the corner of the postcard or on the back side. And these are quite collectible because a lot of times they would hire really super artists of the time to do the artwork on these cards. And depending on what the topic was and who the artist was who did it, that's going to affect the value of it. Ellen Clapsaddle is another name you'll see on the front of a card sometimes. And she did a lot of children's postcards, pictures of kids. Very well-known artist at the time in the early 1900s. Did great features, very, very good artist. And again, a lot of her cards are coveted because she was such a great artist and she did such a great job on the pictures of the children. Winch is another name that you'll find. Again, he very good artist at the time, did a lot of animal type stuff as well as children, and quite collectible. Brundage is another one, a name to look for on postcards. Again, a lot of children's cards. The pictures of the kids were really, really done well. Wayne is another artist that was very well known. And you say, well, how do I find these names? And Nash is another name you're going to look for. On the front of the card, in the corner, lots of times the artist, and again, the artist didn't sign their name to every postcard it was done. Hundreds of thousands of these postcards were produced. But on the photographic process or the printing plate, that name appears. So, how does it affect the value of a card? A normal, just average everyday postcard could be a 5 to 10 to 25-cent postcard. A signed artist card could be $1 card. A better known artist who just did, a run-of-the-mill card could be a $3 to $5 card. Some of the really rare artists could be a $15 to $20 card. And again, as all our collectibles and hobbies have changed, there's lots less people who collect the antique postcards. So when you look in these value guides and you say, well, this is a $25 card, I'm looking at my 1995, catalog, and it's showing it's a $25 card. Well, you know what? It's not a $25 card anymore. It might be a $5 or $10 card. And a lot of times people will come in, they'll say to me, Steve, I looked this up, it's a $25 card. And I said, well, you know what? It's not anymore, but because you saw it in the catalog and it's a $25 card and that's what you want for it, I would contact the fellow that wrote the catalog and maybe he's buying them.
Yeah.
Because
sounds like he's going to give you a good deal.
Yeah, he's going to get a great deal for that one. So, you have to understand that, when you look these things up, it's not what it appears to be all the time in these catalogs that give you valuations. So, but this is something that you do want to look for when you have your, these picture postcards. Now, how can you tell how old they are? Because most postcards aren't really dated. Now you can look on the back and look for postmarks, and that'll certainly tell you that card was made in somewhere around that time frame. But if you look on the back side of a postcard, stamped on the back side, it may say private mailing card. And this was like one of the things that was required by Congress, so that if it said private mailing card, that would make it a 1-cent rate. So, of course, the companies put that on there because it was the cheapest way to go as far as sending a postcard. And these were around late 1890s to the beginning of like 1901. You'll see these private mailing cards are dated that way. Then another card you may find, when you look at the front of it, you'll see a white border around the card. And it could have all these different topics that we're talking about. But when we see that white border, they only did that white border on cards from around 1915 to 1930. So even if you find a card that's not postmarked, and you can't figure out when this was done, and you're going, this has got to be one of those really old postcards because I've never seen anything like it. Look at the old cars. They stopped making those white borders in 1930. And they started in 1915, so it can't be before 1915. So if you see a white border on a postcard, that's going to help you date it. You may find postcards that actually feel like linen. You look at them, it looks like it's almost like a woven design on top of the picture. And if you run your hand across it, you run your finger across it, it'll feel like linen almost. And this was an era when they did this, 1930s to 1945. It was popular. It had a good look, and it was a novelty. So people thought, wow, these are cool. I'm going to buy some of these and send them off to my friends. So when you see this linen cards, that's going to tell you, again, it can't be any later than 1930, or it can't be any newer than 1930. It can't be any later than 1945 because they stopped making them after 1945. Then they went to the chrome cards, which are sort of what they pretty much do nowadays. And when you used to come to Florida, it had the pictures of, the whole hotels where you stayed. And, this stuff is from the 50s and 60s and 70s. And we had fold-out postcards that were, a lot of this stuff was from the 20s all the way up into the 40s. You went to Europe or you went to Yosemite and you bought this little book and you opened it up and there was all these different postcards attached to each other. You'd separate them and then put a stamp on them and mail them out to your friends. But postcards are still a collectible. They certainly don't have the value that they used to because, the younger people get on the internet and, this is where their knowledge comes from. Some of us older folks used to learn and get our knowledge from stamps, from postcards, from old letters, things like this. Things have changed a lot. But if you've got the time on your hands, you want to get into a hobby where you don't have to spend a lot of money, and it sort of gives you a shot again at the old nostalgia, picture postcards. It's out there. You can become a deltiologist without even trying.
Yeah, actually, I thought you were going to say it was somebody who collects memorabilia from the Delta region of the United States.
I wasn't quite quick enough to think of that one. I just
would have been a good name.
I was off the cuff. But I'm Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Gold and Diamonds, talking to you a little bit about collecting picture postcards today. If you've got any of them around you've inherited, I'd love to take a look at them for you. We buy picture postcards, all different types. With that, we're going to take a quick break and return to Tradio. Hi, I'm Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Gold and Diamonds. I can tell you that Westchester Gold and Diamonds has the largest collection of gold and diamonds in 3 counties, but I think the fact that we've been here for over 35 years says it all. Westchester Gold and Diamonds has worked hard to give you the best prices, the deepest discounts off our everyday low prices, and above all, the best service possible. At Westchester Gold and Diamonds, we always appreciate your business, and we've worked hard to keep it. Westchester Gold and Diamonds in Bears Plaza, Port Charlotte. Westchester Gold and Diamonds, a name you can trust.
You know what? Walter Trout.
I was going to say bad company.
No.
Okay.
That was just...
that was Walter Trout for all of you sitting here trying to figure it out, because I didn't know that one.
You didn't know?
He kind of pulls it out of his,
You would like it. I think you would like that.
I think I would like that.
Yeah.
I was rocking out a little bit over here, wasn't I?
Yeah.
All right. And you asked me a real quick question about when I mentioned Zeppelin cards and stuff. And we talked about Zeppelin cards. We talked about Zeppelin mail and air mail, started in 1918 when they started flying the mail. The Zeppelin cards, there was Zeppelin postage, and, again, they could turn around and fly these postcards in Zeppelins, and a lot of times the cancellation would show that it was done in Lakehurst, which is in the 27 around there, 1930s. And, again, if you had a picture of the Zeppelin, you had a Zeppelin stamp on it. And we find a lot of this from the German era because they did a lot of airmail through their Zeppelins. And then with the Zeppelin postmark on it, again, this was very, very collectible. And the 3 of those pieces together, there's people who this is what they collect, a particular card with a postmark and a picture, on the front of it. So, yeah, these certainly have a lot more value than just a regular postcard. If you have just the Zeppelin postcard, again, it could be a $3 to $10 card with the cancellation on it. It can become a $15 to $50 card. So the cancellations on a lot of these postcards do make a lot of difference. If it's got a rare stamp on it, it could be very valuable. But don't ever pull the stamps off of the postcards. It's always going to have more value when the 2 of those things are together. Now, we've talked about all kinds of collectibles and things like that. I'm going to give the store a plug, Westchester Gold and Diamonds. We're going through our inventory, and we just have so much stuff that we're loading up the 50% off cases. We're marking stuff down. If you're looking for something special, please stop by and see us. We're in the Bear Plaza behind ABC Liquors. We do custom jewelry repair. We do jewelry design. And we can make just about anything you could possibly need. Our diamond inventory is definitely the largest in the area. And if you're looking for something, you need it, please stop in and see us. We've been doing this for over 37 years now. I'm Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Gold and Diamonds. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody until next week. Gold prices are the highest they have ever been. Hi, I'm Steve Duke, the owner of Westchester Gold and Diamonds, with a question for you. Why would you ever mail your gold items away to some ad you saw on TV? Westchester Gold and Diamonds has been one of the largest gold and silver buyers for over 30 years. I'm your neighbor, your local jeweler, the guy your friends have sold their jewelry, coins, and antiques to. Take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and let Westchester Gold and Diamonds turn your gold and jewelry items into